Hello and welcome to Quays News with Ria Ramesh and Dan Magin. Here's what's coming up on the show today.
BBC Chairman Richard Sharp has resigned over breaching his appointment rules.
American TV host Jerry Springer has died, aged 79.
And we will have the sports and the entertainment news with Ruby.
Richard Sharp has announced his resignation as chairman of the BBC after a report found he breached the code on public appointments. Sharp has said he has resigned because he wants to prioritise the interests of the BBC. Boris Johnson is yet to make a comment on the release of the report. The BBC chairman will remain in post until the end of June while they search for a successor. Sharp has apologised for the distraction this has caused to the BBC.
Due to rapid inflation, Britain has experienced a peak in consumer prices. The cost of living has affected some of the larger stores on the high street. Costa employs large workforce on a minimum wage with an increase in work hours and multiple jobs. Some of the most affected are students. Local Costa barista Naomi at Media City speaks of her experience.
Big issue for young people at the minute as well, because you're working so many shifts, so many hours, and then you also have to balance the work at uni with that as well to afford to live. So I think socially you're missing out, and you'll be stressed as well trying to get all your uni work done. So I think it is quite a big issue at the minute that no one's really talking about. So I think it's quite challenging for students at the minute.
Now over to Ruby for the entertainment news.
If you're looking to stay dry this weekend, why not take a trip down to your local cinema? This weekend's biggest box office hits are the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Italy's most famous brothers are back on your screen again. Fun for all the family with an all-star cast starring Jack Black, Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy. There's something for everyone. If you're fancying something a little darker, Evil Dead Rise is for you. A mother possessed by a demon begins terrorising her family in director Lee Cronin's latest horror masterpiece. The film has a 7.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb and is definitely the scariest thing in cinemas. Now, one for your teenagers, Chris Pine and Sophia Lillis star in Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, a new instalment in the adaptation from the biggest game ever created. Jerry Springer was confirmed dead on Thursday night following a short illness. His family announced the 79-year-old broadcaster passed away peacefully at his home in Chicago last night. James Corden has aired his final broadcast of The Late Late Show, finishing the show with an all-star selection of guests, including Tom Cruise, Will Ferrell, and a personal friend and fellow Brit, Harry Styles. Take That are reuniting once again for the King's coronation performance on the 6th of May. Coming with that, there will be a deep house remix of their smash hit Greatest Day to be released on Friday the 5th. They may have lost a few members over the years, but everyone's mum's favourite band are still going strong. And finally, Barbie, to be released this summer, has already made many waves in news. Now, fans are calling justice for Alan. Michael Cera's Alan is already a favourite and people are begging for him to have more screen time after seeing a brief cameo in the trailer. That's all from me. Back to you, Dan and Ria.
That's entertainment. Malton in North Yorkshire is home to a new community skate park. We caught up with Ruby to check out the ramps and find out some more.
I'm here at Malton Skate Park, a place of much debate over the last 2 years. Last April, the park reopened after a stint of closure and a massive rejuvenation. We've met with local campaigner Ryan Swain and skating personality to tell us a little bit more.
Skateboarding means everything to me because I don't see it just as a sport, I see it as a culture. We did the whole repair work on the ramps and the restoration stuff. We did that last April, so that was 2022. And then we finished the half pipe at the end of September, so it hasn't really had that long to sort of settle in yet. So people are aware that it's here. This summer's going to be very busy. I think people are travelling already to come and use the vert ramp. So we've had people from Europe, even across the Atlantic, to come and have a go on it. So that's pretty cool. We're going to look at setting up a community group here, trying not just in this town but in other towns as well. So across Rydale, maybe across Kirby Moorside, Pickering, even across the Scarborough and York. I think there's a massive gap for it because there's a lot of, like I say, there's a lot of facilities, but whether the facilities are being used correctly and appropriately are two different things. For me, getting rid of the skate park was a totally wrong thing to do, because obviously antisocial behaviour ties in with that. It kind of captures young people, it gives them a place to sort of come and hang around and accommodates them. If you take that away from a town or a place, they're just going to go somewhere else. Personally, I've seen changes. I've seen a lot of people that were hanging around at the park maybe last year starting to pick up maybe scooters or bikes, even skateboards. They're trying it out, you know, they've maybe never done it before, but they're giving it a go.
So what impact do you think the skate park has had on the local community?
I think it's had like a really positive impact because it just brings people together, and like obviously in summer where the weather's a lot nicer, we'll be coming down here a lot more and just hanging out and not getting in trouble.
Brilliant. And would you come down here before the skate park was redone?
Not really, because the ramps were a bit dangerous and it was a bit sketchy.
Now sport. Last night in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Brian Mason's men came back from a 2-0 deficit to draw the game 2-2, missing some huge chances on the way which could have won them the game. But it was Pedro Porro's spectacular volley that caused this momentum change that was so ever needed by Spurs after Sunday's embarrassment on Tyneside. In other news, Sean Dyche's Everton looks certain to be relegated after another shocking defeat to Newcastle at home. Despite last season's heroic 16th place finish, thanks to Frank Lampard, who has only won one game out of the last 19 as manager, they seem to be meeting their EFL-based fate. Speaking of Frank, his Chelsea team dropped to new lows with a 2-0 defeat at home to Brentford on Wednesday. And now a look at the F1. It's a new format this weekend, which means qualifying is now on a Friday and there's sprint qualifying on Saturday, with the big race taking place on a Sunday, where Verstappen will inevitably win. Now for your daily Peter Wright update. The Scotsman lost again last night to Michael Smith in the darts in Leeds.
And now let's find out what the weather has in store in Salford Quays.
So as you can see behind me and above me actually, it is a very overcast day with highs of 10 and lows of 5 as we head into the evening though. If you're looking for a walk, you better go out at night because that's when the sun comes out. Temperature rise to a nice 12 degrees. Similar case for Saturday, where the temperature will be a low of 8 and a high of 15, but overcast throughout the day with little scattered showers in between. Sunday on the other hand, you better stay inside, get a movie, get some board games, chill with the family because it's raining all day. Even though the temperature will be nice 15 and a high, lows at 7, the rain is sadly going to ruin it. But this is what you've been waiting for, the bank holiday Monday. Scattered showers throughout the day, but cloudy. So if you're looking for a nice time, go for a walk around the pier. Again, it'll be another nighttime walk for you, but I would bring a jacket as the temperature drops down to 10. There you go, back to the studio.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Until next time, stay classy, Salford Quays.